And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Maine Mariners online town hall broadcasting live on Facebook Live. We appreciate you being with us here for this exciting day in Maine Mariners history. The Maine Mariners have been officially acquired by Dexter Paine, who joins us alongside Adam Goldberg, who has been promoted to CEO of the team. And here, as we sit 18 days out from the home opener and the season opener of season 6, things are really ramping up. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, and throughout the night, you can get your questions in by simply dropping the comments down below. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can, and we want to share in the excitement of this day with you, the fans out there. So thanks again for being with us. And Dexter and Adam, good evening. Dexter, congratulations and welcome.
Michael, thank you very much. I'm incredibly excited. It's a tremendous opportunity to be part of the Maine Mariners community. Also, great opportunity to work with you, Adam, Terrence, and the entire team. Ultimately, it's about the people, and it's just a great group of people that I've gotten to meet during the entire process of buying the Maine Mariners. So thanks for having us on tonight.
Well, it became official just about 2 hours ago. I'm sure fans are curious, Dexter, what goes into the process of buying a hockey team, and kind of take us to where it all began?
Well, I grew up in North Carolina, New Hampshire. I grew up going to Maine Mariners games, and I've been a lifelong Boston Bruins fan. When I looked at buying a minor league hockey team, I looked at a number of different teams, and someone who I know gave me some great advice. They said, make sure that you buy a team someplace that you want to go and a team that you're passionate about. And given that I have family in the Portland area, my mom still lives in North Conway, given that I'm a lifelong Bruins fan and the Mariners are an affiliate, it became very obvious to me that if I was going to buy a minor league team, the Mariners were the team I wanted to buy. Unfortunately, at the time, they were owned by Comcast, which also, as we all know, owned the Flyers, which made for an interesting dynamic. But about 18 months ago, I started talking to the team at Comcast. And while it took a long time, they were a great group of people to work with. And I was lucky enough to negotiate a transaction to buy the team. After agreeing to a deal with Comcast, we then had to get approval from the city, from the county, the authority that owns the Cross Arena, and then ultimately from the ECHL and the owners of the ECHL. So it is a process to get there. We just got approval from the owners of the ECHL last week, and we closed today. So I'm incredibly excited. My family is incredibly excited. We'll all be there on the 18th for opening day and want to be very much part of the community. We own a house in North Haven. I'll have my mom there on the 25th for her birthday, and just really excited to have the opportunity to work with everyone. And last thing I want to say is that, we intend to keep the Mariners in Portland. We intend to keep the Mariners an affiliate of the Boston Bruins, and we intend to keep the team and, quite frankly, add to the team that currently runs the Mariners. So we're so excited to be involved. Thanks for having me on the show, and thanks for the opportunity to be part of the Mariners organization.
And Adam, I think I speak for both of us when I say thanks to Comcast Spectacor for giving us our jobs. I know you've been with the company longer than me, but obviously they were a huge part of our success over the first 5 seasons and giving us the resources that we needed to grow this to a valuable asset that Dexter was interested in purchasing. And so I will let you say what you want about that, but turning the page to Dexter, how important is it to have local ownership now for the first time?
Yeah, I think having a local owner. I mean, like you said, Comcast was wonderful. I've worked with them my whole career, so there was a high level of familiarity there. Um, but yeah, it does change things when there's a person that owns the team as opposed to a company that owns the team. So getting to know, it's a lot easier to get to know Dexter than it is to get to know Comcast, and that plays a big role in this, and it plays a big role in my excitement moving forward, working with Dexter, and working with the Mariners. So certainly, it was an incredible opportunity for me when they called up in 2017 and said, "Hey, your new boss is Danny Briere, and we're going to move you up to Maine." And it's sort of honestly hard to believe all the things that have happened between then and now. But I think this is going to be just such a wonderful chapter for the Mariners. I'm very excited for the fans and the community to get to know Dexter and his family more.
A couple housekeeping notes here before we go any further. I saw there was a question from Brad asking, "Will we be taking questions?" Yes, that is that's the function of this town hall. So please do ask your questions. Again, just drop them in the comments, and we'll bring them up as we can here. We'll be going till about 7 o'clock tonight, getting a chance to know Dexter here, and day one being the official owner of the Mariners. And as I mentioned, 18 days to opening night, October 18th, the home opener against the Wheeling Nailers. Limited tickets available. So if you haven't purchased those yet, head over to marinersofmaine.com. Opening weekend continues the Saturday as well, the 19th, also against Wheeling. Mariners Mayhem will have a pregame block party out on Center Street, a postgame full team autograph session. Training camp will kick off next week. We will have the schedule announced tomorrow for training camp. Preseason game on October 11th over at Bowdoin College in Brunswick against the Worcester Railers, starting a home and home exhibition series, as we have done the last couple of years with the Worcester Railers. Also, kind of on a sad note, want to pass along our condolences to the friends and family of Ed Anderson, longtime chief executive of the original Maine Mariners and then the Providence Bruins. And he was a huge part of getting Portland to become the hockey town that it is today, obviously winning back-to-back Calder Cups in its first two seasons in 77 and 78. Mariners had a great run, won an additional Calder Cup under the Devils affiliation, and then, of course, became Bruins affiliates. And he stuck with the team when they moved to Providence, all in all, 1977 to 2000 as chief executive of the AHL Maine Mariners and then the Providence Bruins. He was a resident of Scarborough. And again, we wish our condolences. We pass along our condolences and our best wishes to his friends and family, really a pillar of Portland hockey and a pioneer. So wanted to get that in as well. And we do have a couple of questions coming in here, and we'll throw Sam's question up here first. Dexter, sorry to cover you up there, Sam, with a long question here. Congratulations on finalizing the purchase of the club, Mr. Paine. I assume a meeting with the Arena Board of Trustees is ahead. Is there any chance of convincing them to revise the arena policy for Mariner home games to allow fans to bring in flags on poles and cowbells? Adam, I'll let you field that one.
Sure. Well, as of right now, we have no plans to change fan policy as far as what people can bring into the stands. One thing that I explain to fans as they come up to me in the concourse is we try to enhance the experience of all fans. We listen to all fans' feedback. We also have to take into consideration all of the fans' experience while at the game. So noisemakers, flagpoles is more of a safety issue, but noisemakers, it's not necessarily an arena policy as it is a joint policy between the Mariners and the county. So we feel like the fans cheering makes enough noise. I personally find noisemakers to be a bit cheating as far as making noise. I think that we're loud enough as it is cheering for goals, but certainly we welcome feedback consistently. I know that noisemakers has been brought up before. It will be brought up again, and I'd be happy to talk about that.
Thanks for the question, Sam, and sorry for pulling it off the screen so fast. I just didn't want to block Dexter's face there. You wrote a long comment, but we appreciate that. We have a good one here from James as well. This one's for Dexter. What are you most excited about being in Portland?
Well, James, thank you for the question. Look, I grew up in North Conway, and Portland was the closest city to North Conway. At the time, it was not very big. I think for me, seeing how Portland has grown, seeing the food scene develop in Portland, seeing the enthusiasm for minor league sports in Portland, it's really exciting to just be part of that community. I love going to Portland when we're there. There's lots to do. And one of the things we want to do is enhance the experience in the arena for all fans. So we're going to be working very closely with the county in terms of improving the fan experience, making sure that it continues to be a fan-friendly family event to go to a Maine Mariners game, and one that can be done at a reasonable cost.
Very good. Adam, I wanted to ask you, well, I guess you kind of answered this with Sam's question. I was going to ask, what are the differences, if any, that fans will notice with a change in ownership?
Yeah, I think that we're actually at a pretty good advantage where there won't be a lot of change for the fans. I know that even when we have changeover within the staff, there are ripple effects through the fan base, whether they get a new account executive or they have a different face that they come to see at the game. So with Dexter taking over and my 100% comfort level with Dexter coming in, I think that trickled down to the rest of the staff. The staff we are adding one staff member. We're adding a director of finance as we leave Comcast and make our own business. But consistency is key, and the staff has been wonderful. So I think that there's going to be, as Dexter mentioned, there's going to be some initiatives as far as community is involved, as it pertains to community relations. But there aren't going to be many drastic changes that fans will see. We will continue to listen to feedback. I think that maybe there's some opportunity to be a little bit more flexible. There's where Comcast gave us full autonomy. There were some various approval processes that I think can be streamlined now, but overall, I think the fans should expect a great product on the ice, a welcoming and receptive front office staff that's willing to listen to feedback. And I don't anticipate that changing. But as things happen, we're more than happy to have those conversations of what fans do want to see. And part of that is events like this, to hear people give their feedback. We pride ourselves as a staff to be very available. We have tables on the concourse. I'd like to think I'm not very difficult to find on the concourse, nor is many other staff members, except for you that's up in the booth calling the game. But besides that, everybody else is pretty accessible. So that certainly will not change.
And Adam, sorry, just I'd add to that I'll be at many games and look forward to getting people's feedback. I'll very soon have a Maine Mariners email account, and certainly happy to have people communicate and share ideas, as you said, about how we make the experience better, how we improve the team, and look forward to people's feedback. So, it is the difference between, having a very large corporate owner and having an individual owner is, we certainly will take that feedback and try to make the experience better.
And, Isaac was actually asking that question. So you kind of answered it for him, Dexter. He said, how many games do you plan on attending? Here's a good one. Will you have an owner's box or will you sit in the crowd? I want to know the answer to that one too.
I've been to a number of Mariners games and I always sit in the crowd. I think, having a different perspective, so sitting in different seats is really important. One of the things you'll discover is I'm not someone you'd ever see in an owner's box. I think being in the crowd, being available, quite frankly, to Adam's point, feeling the enthusiasm, the excitement of the people who come to the games is a really important part of being at the games. It's not just about watching hockey. It's also about watching hockey with 6,000 people who are rooting for the Mariners. That's really exciting.
Dexter, I want to ask you about both your short-term and your long-term goals for the Mariners. You already mentioned your commitment to keeping them in Portland, but what are some of the other things?
I think for the first year, and look, we're 18 days away. It's a time to listen, ask questions, get feedback. Look, Adam and Terrence and the entire team have been great in terms of welcoming me, welcoming my family. But, we're not going to make any significant changes. We want to hear what people think we do well, what we can do better. In terms of long term, I think that we'd like to work with the county to make the experience better, whether that's food or, merchandise accessibility or security or whatever it is. I think you constantly need to ask yourself, how do you make the experience better for the fans? How do you make, the product a better product for people to bring their family to? Long term, a couple of real goals. One is my wife and I are going to work on a foundation. We think that's an important part of being in the community. Having a foundation that's active, particularly around learn to skate, youth hockey, other activities is really important. Second, I'm an incredibly competitive person. I want to see us win the Kelly Cup. And I realize that we're ultimately part of the development team for the Boston Bruins. And there's a real trade-off between being in the development, developing players and, that may be younger, less experienced, but with more upside. And, having a team that may be older veterans, but don't have the potential opportunity to be in the NHL. Looking at someone like Brazeau, who played in Portland and then now is playing for the Bruins, that's that's just a great story, and you love to see that. But I would love to have us win the Kelly Cup, and I want to make sure that we have the housing and the training and the coaching that makes us a destination for high quality players. And I think we now have the coaching. We need to make sure that we give our players great housing, great experience coming here. And then, make sure that we provide Terrence and his staff with the opportunity to win the Kelly Cup. And, winning's fun. And we want to give our fans that experience. It's a goal of mine in terms of owning the team. It'll take time. And, there's a little luck that goes with that. But, being a bigger part of the community and having a winning team, two really important things. And finally, the last one is we want to be the employer of choice. We want to be someplace that people want to work, that they're excited about coming to work. We've got a great leadership team, and we want to make sure that continues, and that, we get the best people wanting to work for the Maine Mariners.
Great. Thank you, Dexter. Nicole, some good news for you. We have indeed improved the sound system. That is going to be one of the changes this year. I've heard it as it was being tested out. It is crisp, and they did a great job. So I think you'll see an improved experience there. We should also mention that the boards and the the benches and the penalty boxes have switched sides. The boards are brand new. The glass is brand new. So I think that is definitely something that will be an improved experience overall. Just the newness, the feeling of all of those things going into season 6. And the arena ops crew has worked really hard getting all of that installed over the summer. And I'm really excited to see it in action here in a couple of weeks. I really appreciate everybody's.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I think that's a testament to the relationship with the county and the county willing to invest in the Mariners. So that has been, for me, always a great relationship, not only with the county, but the staff at the arena. And it goes back to listening to the feedback. I think audio and the levels were very difficult last year. But it was. I talked to some people that said they can't hear anything, and then the same game, some people come over and they say they're being blasted out of their seats because it's too loud. So again, these things are being heard, and no pun intended, and we are putting that feedback to work. We're communicating that back to the arena, and they've done a great job responding to feedback that we get. The boards, I think, was almost preventative maintenance, to be honest. I think that, I'm Terrence can probably speak to it more than I can, but I think that they really improved it, the quality of the boards without it reaching a point where it was really a problem. It's going to be a really nice look to the arena with the new glass, the new boards, and we're really hoping that new sound system really appeases the fans.
Michael, I just wanted to mention something, which was, in this process of buying the team, we had to go work with the city to get their consent to the change in ownership. We had to work with the county and the arena to get their consent. And everyone's been terrific. It's been really, senior management at both organizations have been incredibly welcoming, been really open to working with us going forward, and really appreciate how welcoming, both the city and the county have been to the change in ownership. Question
coming in here from Tim O'Connell. Dexter, Adam, what can season ticket holders expect in the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, that really goes back to our communicated benefits. But I think as far as a season ticket holder and what they can expect, Dexter, as he mentioned, is a competitive person. He wants to put a good product on the ice. He's going to care about the wins and losses. I think Comcast, from the sense of communicating with me, was more on the business sense. We didn't. It wasn't that they didn't care about hockey, not in any stretch. Obviously, they're the owners of the Flyers, but they cared about the operation of the team. So I think that the season ticket holders can expect to have continued communication even now from ownership. Much like Dexter said, he'll be in the crowd with the rest of the fans. So season ticket holders can expect maybe a new neighbor in the section being the owner of the team. So yeah, and as always, just looking forward to hearing feedback. And honestly, it's been good to just see the questions pop up on this feed. It feels like we're getting very close to the season, seeing some of the people that are making these comments and questions, and they're just overall excited for the season, which is good to see.
Absolutely. For both of you guys on the, if there's any questions that you see on there, because I know you guys can see them and I don't pull them up, feel free to address them. We do appreciate a lot of the abundance of questions here. So I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Saw another good one here. If I can try to find it, here we go. We'll throw this one at Dexter from Mike Nicholas. How do you see growing the game outside of Portland, getting those families from, say, Kittery or Brunswick to come?
That is a great question, because one of the pieces of feedback that I got very early in the process is that people felt as though the Mariners fan base was sort of within 30 miles of Portland. And, clearly we want this to be the Maine Mariners, not just the Portland Mariners. And I think being the Maine Mariners is really important. In terms of what we do, I'd like to turn it back to you, which is, how can we do a better job marketing the team, making the team accessible if you live in Lewiston, Auburn, or you live in Kittery, or, Brunswick. We hope you're coming already. It's not that far away. But if there are things that we're not doing that would make it more accessible to a broader group of fans, please let us know. We'd love to know how we grow that fan base. It's really important.
Yeah, and being a resident of Brunswick myself, I'm doing my best to grow it up here, Dexter. And we got the preseason game, of course, here in very soon. So looking forward to having that up at the beautiful Sidney J. Watson Arena on the campus of Bowdoin College. Let's see what else we got here. Really appreciate everybody. Here's William B. Troll Ice Arena, where training camp is going to be held next week. Again, schedule will be dropping for that tomorrow, so keep an eye on social media. Thanks for the support to William B. Troll Arena. Here's a question from Chris. Do you plan on keeping the current branding, i.e. logo, colors, etc.? Do you plan on incorporating more of the Bruins into the branding, such as patches on the jerseys, logo on the ice, etc.?
Oh, well, I can jump in here for Dexter. And, that's also something that fans joining here should understand, is that Dexter's still, he hasn't been to a game as an owner of the Mariners yet. So I think that this is sort of a first taste of what fans are looking for and what they want. There currently are no plans to change the logo. We do have the new alternate throwback jersey, which is in the Bruins colors. Certainly we're looking to continue to build the bridge to the Bruins affiliation and make it as strong as we possibly can. But that is an area where we love, not that we don't love feedback elsewhere, but merchandise as it stands is, we love to hear what people want to buy. We love to hear what people want to wear. So I think we have done a decent job of incorporating the black and gold as we build that affiliation over the past 3 years, and we'll continue to do that. But no, we'll still be. I think it's important to still be blue and green. I think that those are the most main colors with the trees and the ocean, if you ask me. So no real permanent plans there to change any logos or colors.
Adam, let me jump in and first start by saying I am not a marketing person. I'm a finance guy. So this is dangerous. But first of all, I did grow up in New Hampshire, and I knew the Maine Mariners, 45 years ago. And I think there's real strength in that kind of tradition, and love the fact that we are the Maine Mariners, and that when it came back in 2018, we came back as the Maine Mariners. I will say this, I actually really like the throwback jersey. I think it's super cool. But that doesn't mean that we're going to change our colors or what we're doing in terms of the team on the ice.
Yep. And, brand new alternate jersey that we revealed this year with the Bruins color scheme, as well as the throwback jersey that Dexter just alluded to there. So definitely some exciting things to keep the Bruins top of mind as the affiliate. And Isaac, I'm going to give you a little spoiler, Isaac. Yes, training camp will be open to the public. But again, you'll have to keep an eye on Mariners social media tomorrow for the dates. We'll be putting those out, dates and times of training camp coming up tomorrow. But yes, it will be open to the public. So you'll be able to get your first look at the 2024-2025 Maine Mariners in season 6. All right, let's see what else we have coming here. Lots of questions. Appreciate everybody. I'm just going to ask a general question. And again, maybe Adam, it goes to you a little bit more, but I see a lot of people asking about concessions. Any updates or thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that that's just a continuous process to work with the staff at the arena, and finding ways to be creative, finding ways to be unique. So that is certainly not just a preseason conversation, but an ongoing conversation. So yeah, we welcome feedback as far as what people want. I will say that sometimes when we try new things, we just need to do a good job. The Mariners staff need to do a good job of letting people know when those new items are available. So yes, we will continue to look at that menu and offering and try to continue to be new and unique.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, there's a good collection of questions about the concessions out there. So hopefully that helps answer that. Dexter, kind of going off Chris's question, I wanted to ask you, being the diehard Bruins fan that you are, how do you envision the deepening the relationship between the Mariners and the Bruins, which has been so successful since 2021?
I've only worked with the Bruins on getting the affiliation agreement signed at this point, and they were terrific to work with on that. I actually am going to go down and meet with the Bruins for the first time. Adam and I are seeing them on the 10th, but they're very dedicated to having the Mariners in Portland and to the Mariners being a Bruins affiliate in Portland. I think we need to be really dedicated to make sure that we provide them with great training for young athletes. I mean, ultimately they want us to work with those athletes and wants Terrence and his coaching staff to work with those athletes that they send down to us. I do think that not being the owner of the Flyers is a real step forward. I'm sure while the Bruins would never say that bothered them, sometimes they had to scratch their head and ask, geez, why is it the Flyers own our ECHL affiliate? So, I think being independent will be a real step forward and give us a real opportunity just to continue to grow. I also think that part of what we need to do is ask them how we do a better job in terms of being an affiliate and to work closely with the folks in Providence with those athletes. So, this is another one where trying to understand what they need, listening to them, I mean, both Providence and Boston, and make sure that we're doing a really good job for those athletes, and make sure that it's a place that they want to be and that they're getting great training, great time on ice, and have, good places to live. Those are all things that we're going to continue to improve for our players. And as I said, I really want Portland to be a destination for people who want to play in the ECHL or who are Bruins, athletes who are assigned to us from Providence. And so, making sure that experience is a good experience is super important to me.
Providence opening up their training camp today, and 6 Mariners contracted players up there. So we wish them the best of luck, and a lot of familiar names from last season's team as well. So players getting going with the AHL. And as we're about halfway through our town hall here, we once again thank everybody for being with us. And remind you that the season begins in just 18 days. So if you don't have your tickets yet, head over to marinersofmaine.com. Single game tickets on sale, but we're still selling all of our season ticket packages as well. Flex plans are on sale, full, half, and 12-game plans, discounted group tickets. And give us a call. Stop in at 94 Free Street. We'd love to see you. And those single game tickets on sale as well, but only limited for opening night on the 18th. Remember, though, it's a full opening weekend against the Wheeling Nailers, 18th and 19th. And Adam, 7 straight games at home to start the season. It's not something we haven't experienced before. What do you think that's going to be like?
Yeah, it's new historically. I did have a stint in baseball, so that doesn't seem too daunting if you think of it in baseball, in a baseball way. But yeah, honestly, it's going to be nice to have some extended home cooking to start the season. I think we're going to have some new faces on the team. So just to make sure that they don't have to do a lot of traveling at the start of the season and get acclimated to the area. I think that's going to be a really nice benefit. So yeah, to start at home with those 7 games, and it is different than what we've experienced, but the staff is ready. We're ready. We want to see. We're pacing towards a sellout for opening night. We're certainly pacing very well for the 19th as well. So it'll be nice to get everybody back together again. And to experience those nice jolt of home games before we have to hit the road on any extended road trips.
And if you can't make it to opening weekend, as Adam just alluded to, 25th, 26th, 27th, our first $3 Dewey's weekend of the season. So certainly lots of chances to catch the Mariners early on. And sure we'll get a chance to talk to Terrence Wallen on the next Coaches Show about that homestand and the importance of getting off to a hot start, which the Mariners are trying to do really for the first time. And hopefully having the home ice early will lead to a chance. Here's a question from a different Adam asking, any plan for enhanced outreach or cooperation with UMaine Black Bears?
I think that we certainly, I know the assistant athletic director fairly well. And they have a great team up there. They have great facilities. I saw recently their upgrades, or at least maybe planned upgrades to the locker room. Really incredible stuff. And now that Maine seems to be pushing heavily back onto the national stage as a ranked team, has been great to see. As far as a pipeline for hockey operations, I would leave that up to Terrence, but I know that the hockey staff does a great job as far as recruiting college players. We see an influx of college players towards the end of their season, and the end of our season as well, as we get closer to the playoffs. So seeing a UMaine Black Bear is always a welcome sight on the Mariners roster, but again, I leave that more up to the hockey ops guys and making sure that we find the right fit. But even, with Gite being our head coach, we love those connections to UMaine. So certainly anything that there's an ability to work closely together. I know that they have a couple games, one men's, one women's game in Portland this year, which will be nice to see. And I know that there's a nice alumni contingent locally as well, south of Orono. So if there are opportunities there, we'd be more than happy to build that connection even stronger.
Scott Winslow, are you going to have an alumni game? Of course, when the Mariners first arrived with the Bruins Flyers alumni game, that was even before I was around. But I heard good things about it, and not really sure which alumni Scott may be referring to. Obviously, now we have our own alumni here 6 years into the ECHL Mariners. But Dexter, without making any promises, obviously you were a Mariners fan of the original Mariners growing up, and I'm sure some Bruins alum that you might like to see lace up the skates again. What are your thoughts on an alumni game?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'd never thought about it before. I think we have to turn it over to the marketing guys to make it happen. It's easy. Now I say, Adam, go ahead and make the alumni game happen. Great idea, and let us think about it.
Well, we should give a shout out to one of our own alumni, Zach Tolkinen, who has returned to the organization as assistant coach. We're excited to have him back in the fold this year. And just thinking about some of the Mariners from the first couple of years pre-pandemic, the Dylan Foxes. I think we could convince those guys in the not too distant future to throw the skates on again. We usually see Foxy when we're down in Reading. He's still around in Pennsylvania, and every time I see him, I feel like he's got the itch to throw on the skates again. But thanks for the question there, Scott. Let's see what else we have on here. Some of these questions I think are more hockey ops related. I don't want to put these guys on the spot with those.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, we're happy to make commitments for Terrence. If it involves, winning more games or scoring more goals, we're happy to commit Terrence to all of those.
Ethan asking, will the jerseys have ads? And Adam, obviously a big part of our organization is our great partners, and certainly couldn't have what we have without them, right?
Yes, certainly. We'll continue to have those ads. I think not only does it give us some consistency as far as our presence locally, and making sure that we have sustainable games from a business standpoint, but one of the things that Dexter mentioned to me very early on, when we started to get to know each other, is he wanted to make sure that we're really ingrained in the community, and that goes with sponsorships as well, and those partnerships. So working with those local companies that want to be a part of the Mariners, and we want them to be a part of us. It truly is. It is a partnership. We want to see them out at the games, and we want to send Beacon to their offices for whatever event that they have going on. But yeah, it's a part of the sports now, and I certainly don't see us getting away from that.
And that kind of goes right along with Jason's question here, addressed to Dexter. Will you be meeting with sponsors to go over opportunities in the community?
And Jason, thanks for the question. Actually, Adam was on right before we started this, and we were just talking about, I'll be in Portland in 2 weeks, and we'd like to go see all of our large sponsors. One is to say thank you very much. Two is to ask them how we can be a better partner with them. And then third, we'd like to see every large, company in the Portland area be involved with the Mariners. I think it's a really virtuous cycle if we can be a great place for them to advertise, do events for their staff. They can be great partners for us and help us put a better product on the ice. And, we want to be committed to having really good relationships throughout the community, not only for profit, but not for profit. And as I talked about, putting together a foundation that can be involved in the not-for-profit community is going to be a really important part of what we do as well.
Thanks, Jason, for the question. Dexter, I wanted to, give the fans a chance to get to know you a little bit more in your background. I know you mentioned it earlier, but one of the more interesting things about your resume is that you've been on the Olympic and Paralympic Committee board of directors, and you were involved in the now successful bid for the 2034 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Tell me about your passion for that side of sports.
So I grew up in North Carolina, and I actually grew up as a ski racer. I'm a terrible skater. I love the sport, but the last time I did it, I broke my wrist. So that gives you some sense of how bad a skater I am. But I'm really passionate about skiing and have been involved in competitive skiing since I was a kid. I skied in college, and after college, got involved with the U.S. ski team. I was chairman of the U.S. ski team for 13 years. And that really gave me a sense of how sporting organizations are run. From that, I got involved in the International Ski Federation, where I'm on the council for that. I'm also on the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee board and on the board of U.S. Biathlon. So, I am over-indexed in terms of winter sports, but it's something that I'm incredibly passionate about. And look, being on the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee has actually given me a chance to be really close to Pat Kelleher, who runs USA Hockey, a guy who's actively involved in the sport, and a better sense of sort of development within, hockey in the United States. So it's complementary, I think, to what we're going to do with the Mariners as well, and gives me some insight that I wouldn't have just from a business perspective. Always been really actively involved. They're all not-for-profits. They're all organizations that I volunteer for, but which I love and passionate about. I think it's a really good balance and really good perspective that'll help me be a better owner of the Maine Mariners.
Adam, I'm going to throw this one at you from Sonia. Last year, you had a meet and greet for season ticket holders prior to opening night. Any plans for that this year?
Yeah. So we've got a season ticket holder event. I believe it's scheduled to be on the 16th at Aura again. I think it'll be even better than last year because of all the new faces. I think we had a decent carryover of the roster last year from the previous season. So I think this one will be pretty important to come out and see the new faces. And also Dexter will be there as well. So an opportunity to meet him. But yes, we will have the meet and greet before the season, as well as, Mike, you mentioned it very early on about the post-game autograph session. There will be various promotions throughout the year where you will have the opportunity to meet the players, introduce yourself, And the autograph session on the second game of the year will at some point have a post game skate with the players. So yeah, that is honestly one of the best parts about minor league sports is the access to the players and their willingness to interact with the fan base. So yes, we will long-winded answer to your question, but yes, we will have the meet and greet before the season as well as opportunities throughout the season to get to know these players even more.
Sonia, sorry, just the other thing I would add to that is, look, ultimately, our season ticket holders, our sponsors are the reason we exist. And we need the opportunity to say thank you to all of you. And we want to make sure whether it's tonight or it's events like that, that we do say thank you. We really appreciate your support. And what it allows us to be competitive and to put a really good product on the ice that hopefully everyone enjoys going to.
And if you want to check out any of those promotions that Adam was talking to, our full promotional schedule is now out. MarinersDomain.com/promotions. All the post-game autograph sessions, the post-game open skates, which are always very popular. The giveaways were just announced, including the Terrence Wallen bobblehead. Really excited about that one. The specialty jerseys as well announced. So you can check all of those out at MarinersDomain.com/promotions. What are you guys' thoughts on the Terrence Wallen bobblehead?
Well, I'm a little concerned. I think we only had 1,000 that were given away, and I don't know that I'll be that early to the stadium. So, if Adam, Michael, you can find, or maybe Terrence, you can find a bobblehead to put aside, I'm going to put it right on my desk. I think we should have actually made more of them than we did.
I love the aspect of a player coach, and so to see that that mix on a bobblehead, we did the Beacon bobbleheads, and I think it was time for a player, and to have Terrence be that, I think it's special for him. I think he appreciates it, and our new marketing director, Catherine, she set up a video of that bobblehead. I was just talking to her about it today. I thought it was very well done. So I think fans will be happy with that addition to their shelves.
Yeah, I think the demand is going to exceed the supply on that one. Sorry, Dexter, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Terrence and his staff work incredibly hard, and once again, the opportunity for us to appreciate what he's done both as a player and as a coach for the team is great. But I do think we need to probably double or triple the production there, so everyone has one.
Well, we certainly would like to see everyone get their chance to get one. March 21st, I believe, is the date for that giveaway. So a little wait, but good things come to those who wait, as they say. And so we're excited for that as well. Nicole wanting to know about the national anthem. Adam, if you could direct Nicole on where she may be able to sing the anthem, or somebody that she knows.
Yeah, ultimately we reach out to a lot of groups to sing the national anthem. There are some soloists. We have it's one of those things where it is minor league sports and group national anthems go hand in hand, and I think that we've continued to improve that. But as we get closer to the season, things happen, and we need people to fill in. People have called out sick an hour before game time, so we've had to play the national anthem through the speakers just on a regular audio track. But certainly, if you'd like to sing the national anthem, I encourage you to reach out. I believe Mariners of Maine, I'm not sure exactly the URL, but we've got a contact us portion of the website. But yeah, our goal is always to have 36 people sing the national anthem at all 36 home games.
Yeah, under the tickets tab, you can either go under groups or fan experiences. And all those pages have inquiry forms that you can fill out, and that'll go to our sales department. So definitely a good resource. There is another question from Chris for Dexter. Being a longtime Mariners fan, would you like to see a presence from those players living in Maine? How about bringing back retired numbers? And I know that a good amount of the 70s and 80s Mariners do still live in Maine. We've tried to bring them out for throwback nights over the years, and a good group of them have been great enough to come back. But what are your thoughts on that one, Dexter?
Look, I think engaging our alumni is really important. there is no more important and more enthusiastic set of fans than your alumni. And, we want them to be engaged. We want to take the opportunity to say thanks, to celebrate what they've done. Once again, this gets into the marketing realm. I am really dangerous in that and really new. So, I'd ask Adam maybe, what we've done in the past, what we can do going forward. But the idea of engaging the alumni is just a great idea.
Yeah, it's I've had the opportunity to meet some of them and sit with some of them during the game, and it's amazing to be able to pull those stories out of them and hear their experience. And it's honestly, to Chris's point, it's there are a lot of alumni that are local, and I think that speaks to people's love of Maine. A lot of times you go to play in a city and you don't have much of a connection to it besides your teammates in the locker room. But for those alumni to let their roots grow in a place that they've played, I think speaks volumes to Maine itself. And certainly I would love to engage with them and get them out to games, not only the old Maine Mariners alumni, but looking for Portland Pirates or even our iteration of Maine Mariners alumni, as you mentioned, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I'll throw up this comment here. I do not want to mispronounce your name, so I'm not going to try. Usually I'm pretty good with difficult names, but this one may be beyond me. But wanted to appreciate the viewership from Scotland, where Carter Johnson was playing last season, of course, returning to the Mariners. Excited to have Carter back here. Thank you so much for joining the stream from Scotland. I'm not sure what time it is over there, but feel like it might be in the middle of the night. So thank you for thank you for jumping on the stream. I want to get Susan's question here. How will you reach out to the rural communities? Dexter, if you want to take that one.
I think this is similar to the earlier question we had about Kittery and Brunswick. As I said, early in this process, Adam and I talked about how we truly can be the Maine Mariners, whether you live in Lewiston, Auburn, or you live in Freiburg. We want to be the Maine Mariners, not just the Portland Mariners. And, in terms of reaching out to the rural communities, this is one where I'd love to get your feedback. We hope that, whether you're in Freiburg or Lewiston, Auburn or Augusta or Kittery, that you'll buy tickets, you'll bring your family, you have a great experience. Maybe you make a night of it, maybe you go home that same night. But that, it's a really fun thing to do, on a Friday, Saturday, or maybe it's a Sunday afternoon game, so you don't have to drive at night. We want to make it accessible to everyone. And, if there's a better way for us to reach more people in Maine and get them excited about the team, please let us know. We do want to be the Maine Mariners. And by the way, I grew up in North Carolina, New Hampshire, and it's okay. Sorry, just quickly. I was just going to say, I grew up in North Carolina, New Hampshire, so it's okay if people from New Hampshire come as well. We're happy to let them be part of the Maine Mariners.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry about that. I think you had a quick connection issue there, but we got you back. Yeah. Last couple minutes here, so get your last minute questions in for either Dexter or Adam here. Appreciate everybody for joining us here on this Monday night as the Mariners officially have been acquired by Dexter Paine. We're so excited to work for him here in our 6th season. Here's another marketing type question, so I'll throw this one at you, Adam, from Mike. Mike, I think it's actually pretty cool to come out already on a Friday night, but Mike asks how it could be a cool place to come for teens or 20-year-olds on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, at one point I was a 20-year-old, so I have to try to remember what was cool for me to do. But I think that honestly, leaning into Portland being such a great area for young adults is important. The Chamber has a great program for young professionals and reaching out to those younger adults. that are looking for ways to socialize and looking for ways to get out there and see what their locale has to offer. Honestly, as far as it goes, as far as sports goes, I admittedly think that we have the best to offer with hockey. I think hockey is the best live sport. I think that that's also part of part of a fun challenge is to get people that have never experienced hockey games to come out to a Mariners game and really see. I mean, you're right on the action. There, it really isn't a bad seat in the house. So to be able to come out to those games and you can become a fan very, very quickly. I was not exposed to a lot of hockey growing up, and my professional career started in hockey, and and my love affair with the sport happened very rapidly. So I think it's a process of just trying to get people that haven't been exposed to hockey to give us a chance. But I also think that our marketing department does a phenomenal job as far as making the game look cool with their various videos and highlight packages. And we're starting to reach out to a new segment of fans on social media and various avenues for them to see what we have to offer.
Adam, the only thing I'd say on that is that's a perfect example of if there are things we aren't doing to make the experience great for, teens and 20-year-olds, let us know. We really want to be responsive, and, good ideas are ones that we really want to hear. All ideas are ones we actually really want to hear. And so, let us know what we could be doing to make sure that we're capturing that fan base. As Adam said, great thing about hockey is it's nonstop for 3 periods, goes quickly, lots of action. It is the best sport to watch. And, hopefully we can convince every age group that it's the best sport to watch.
I'll field this one from Kristen asking about, would like to see more media players on the scoreboard. I just wanted to give a shout out to Gabby, our new game presentation coordinator, who's been working really hard on upgrading video board content. And it's definitely difficult with players cycling through the ECHL, the old ever-changing hockey league adage where guys are coming and going quite often, and it's hard to keep up with who's on the roster at a given time. But I know that Gabby's got some great ideas to try to enhance the kind of the video board experience, and look forward to see what she has coming up. So I hope that kind of helps answer Kristen's question, I should say. We have Mark here. As you build your nonprofit foundation to benefit golf tournament with some players might be a good idea. I know that hockey and golf kind of always go together.
Yeah, Mark, I know that there's, a number of hockey teams out there that do that. We've gotten lots of ideas, everything from benefit golf tournament to, a 10K run. We're going to use proceeds from things like jersey auctions and other things in stadium to help fund the foundation. Unfortunately, I'm not a golfer, so it's not the first thing I think about. But great idea. And I know a number of teams have run really successful benefit program, golf benefits for the foundation.
All right. Well, before we wrap it up here, just kind of want to get some closing thoughts from both of you on this exciting day and an outlook on the season. So we'll go Adam first, and then we'll finish it up with Dexter. Adam, any closing thoughts on where we are and on this exciting day for the Mariners?
Yeah, it is an exciting day. It's today in the office, it felt like I did a week's worth of work within the day, and that really tells me that hockey season is right around the corner. It's just great to see people's names that I'm familiar with pop up with great questions. I appreciate the feedback as always. And I'm just really looking forward to everybody getting to know Dexter more as I have over the past few months. I think he's going to be a wonderful owner, a wonderful piece of the community. And I'm just incredibly motivated to help make him successful.
And Dexter, final thought.
Final thoughts. One is it's not just me; it's my family as well, and we all intend to be engaged. I think it is a family activity, and we want to be part of that family activity. Michael, another thing you said is that I think you said something like, we work for you. We all work together, and this is all part of being a team. We're not only a team on the ice, we're a team off the ice, and having great camaraderie and excitement and enjoying being together is really important in terms of building the organization and building our presence in the community. We do want to give back to the community. We think that's an incredibly important part of, being able to own the Mariners. It's, quite frankly, it's something I've always wanted to do in my life, and the huge opportunity. And I feel an incredible obligation to make sure we do a great job being stewards of this team. And finally, want to encourage everyone to come out. Your support is incredibly important. Whether it's with bells or it's with your voice, we want that arena to be incredibly loud. We want our players to feel like we're celebrating and supporting them. And, Michael, thanks for putting this together, and thanks for inviting me. And Adam, I can't wait to work together. You're a great partner, and looking forward to a great year. Everyone, let's be there on the 18th for opening night, and root on the Mariners. Thank you very much for being interested enough to logging on tonight and listening to what we have to say.
Yes, a great audience, lots of great questions. Big thanks to everybody for engaging in the comments. And Dexter and Adam, thank you for being here. And one last reminder on all the upcoming dates of note. Tomorrow we'll be announcing the training camp schedule, so keep an eye out on social media for that. Preseason game on October 11th at Bowdoin College up here in Brunswick at 7 o'clock. Free admission for that one against the Worcester Railers. We will then have, of course, the home opener on the 18th as part of opening weekend, the 18th and the 19th against the Wheeling Nailers. Limited tickets available for opening night on the 18th, so head over to marinersofmaine.com and get those. Remember, a block party, post-game autographs on the 19th as well. Well, we hope everybody has a great rest of your night. Dexter, once again, congratulations on the deal. We are so excited to work with you here in the coming weeks, months, and years. And a new era of Maine Mariners hockey has begun. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Michael.